Hello and welcome to highlights of stages 2 and 3 of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift, and unusually a double day for the riders. Stage 2, a road stage from Dordrecht to Rotterdam, 69.7 kilometers in length, and Charlotte Kool of DSM Firmenich Postenel starting the day in the yellow jersey as race leader after her victory on stage 1. A flat, fast, twisty, turny stage for the riders from Dordrecht to Rotterdam. A lot of corners, completely pan flat. A lot of road furniture also for the riders to deal with. Race director Marion Roos waving the flag after a 6-kilometer neutralized section. And it would take a while for a breakaway to finally get established. There was a lot of road furniture to negotiate. There was a crash with 66.8 kilometers to go where it narrowed down through these big plastic bollards. And it would take a considerable length of time for a lot of those riders to get themselves back into the peloton. Kristen Faulkner of the EF Oatly Cannondale team was one rider that was distanced. And you can see on the flat open roads, it was taking the groups a while to come back. Just outside 40 kilometers to go, it was Lotto Destiny's Audrey de Keersmaeker that went on the attack. And the Belgian rider, this is really her kind of racing, her stomping ground. And that really would be the breakaway of the day. The gap really yo-yoing around 10 seconds and then up towards the 30-second mark. The Lotto Destiny rider really was giving it everything that she could and was also chasing that prestigious combativity award. Behind, really, it was a day that everyone was trying to set things up for their sprinters. One faller was one of the favourites for the afternoon individual time trial, and Grace Brown there in the red and blue colours of FDJ swears she was up and on her way. We went through 25 kilometers to go. Audrey de Keersmaeker was still holding that advantage over the peloton behind. The day, though, would be peppered with these little crashes. Mika Docks, teammate of Audrey de Keersmaeker, one faller, but she would be back and up and on her way. De Keersmaeker's gap, 34 seconds. It really was a day and a lessons in resilience with Audrey de Keersmaeker really not giving up without a fight, with that gap just yo-yoing between those 10 seconds and up over 30. She was looking to hang on for as long as possible, but the draw for the big teams with the fast finishers in their ranks would just be too much. Ellen van Dijk in the yellow, red and blue colours of Lidl Trek. They were looking to try and set it up for Lisa Balsamo. The Visma Lisa bike riders in the orange, white and yellow colours for Marianne Vos. Ruby Roseman Gannon was one rider that was trying to come through towards the front for the Liverlula Jayco team, with Lorena Vibis's SD Works team down the left-hand side of the road. It was a catch just inside 10 kilometres to go, but a big day out for Audrey de Keersmaeker. It was now down to the riders to set things up for a bunch sprint. Unfortunately, Amber Pate in the orange and green colours here of Liverlula Jayco and the Australian national champion of Ruby Roseman Gannon going down quite heavily and quite close to the front of the peloton. Inside the final couple of kilometres, Blanca Vass of SD Works railing it through the corners, looking to try and set things up for Lorena Vibis. Maria Giulia Confalonieri was trying to set things up for Anina Atosale. On the opening day, Wiebes had lost her mech in a racing incident. Barbara Guarishki starting the sprint. Wiebes came off the wheel. Voss, Kool, all up there challenging, and there was just a small gap, and it was the yellow jersey of Charlotte Kool in the battle of the Titans and the big name sprinters. She came through to take her second stage victory in as many days and extend her lead in the general classification for the day, belonging to DSM Firmenich Postenel. Another great lead out from them. There was the moment that the gap just opened up between Vibis and Voss, and Charlotte Kool didn't need a second invitation, and in a straight drag race to the line, the two fastest sprinters in the world go power to power, with Charlotte Kool coming out on top. There's your stage result. Charlotte Kohl from Lorena Wiebes and Mariana Vos. Another fourth. Lotte Hentala, Balsamo, Barbieri, Dazuta, Kohlslisser, Altsini with Pop Peterser moving into the top 10. Great result for her. Charlotte Kohl in front of a home crowd here in the Netherlands, here in Rotterdam, would start the afternoon time trial with a 14-second advantage over Anina Atosalo, 14 to Wiebes, 16 to Vos and Balsamo, and then 20 seconds to the top 10. And really, over 100 riders still at 20 seconds going into a short 6.3 kilometre individual time trial. Who would it suit? The time trialists, the track riders, or the sprinters? Just that little rise over the Erasmus Bridge. But Grace Brown, the Olympic time trial champion, would have gone into the time trial and did as a big pre-race favourite. Maggie Kohlslisser of Team Roland was the first rider to get underway. The time trial rigs all out. No aerodynamic advantage left unturned. It would be Los Arges, though, of FDJ Suez, pulling out the best time trial of her career, who would sit at the top of the leaderboard with a 7:30.52. Grace Brown on her way, but disaster struck for the Australian time trial champion. A rear wheel puncture, and in such a short time trial, that would be it and her challenge. Unfortunately, she was up and on her way, and she put down the best few kilometers that she could into the finish, and her gap to teammate Los Arges at the finish around about 18 seconds, and that put into perspective the ride of Brown and how much time she lost at the intermediate time split. Ellen van Dijk launched herself down the start ramp, chasing a stage victory. The multiple world and European time trial champion, coming back from the birth of her son in October last year, was looking to try and take a stage win in front of a home crowd. Again, it was so tight on the line, and just over a second. Los Arges still in the hot seat. Kristen Faulkner of EF Oakley Cannondale, she's won the prologue time trial in the Giro d'Italia and stage wins in time trials in the Tour de Suisse. She got her ride underway, and she would set a fast time at the intermediate time split. World time trial champion Chloe Dygert of the USA and Canyon SRAM, a big pre-race favourite for the time trial as always. Faulkner and Dygert going toe-to-toe at the intermediate time splits into the finish, though, and it put into perspective the second half of the time trial for Arges. Under a second to Kristen Faulkner. She stood the test of time in the hot seat. Chloe Dygert just had a few corners to go, and up towards the line it would be even closer come the finish. The clock was green, and as Chloe Dygert crossed the line, it would be 0.17 the time, virtually level on time. Chloe Dygert went to the top of the leaderboard. Demi Vollering, the defending champion in Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift, got her ride underway, and she wouldn't have been a rider at the beginning of the stage that you would have perhaps had as a nailed-on favourite for the time trial. But Vollering threw herself around the course. We know the pedigree of Vollering in the time trials, but in such a short one, we weren't expecting the ride that the defending champ put in, and it really does send out a warning shot to the rest of the riders for the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift to come into the finishing straight, and she still had time to play with, and Demi Vollering came through to put herself to the top of the leaderboard, 7:25.14, knocking Chloe Dygert down to second. It then came down to the sprinters. Charlotte Kohl had won prologue time trials in the past. She was the final rider to start, and in the end, the clock ticked away over that 20-second mark, and Demi Vollering not only would take the stage, but she would take that yellow jersey off the shoulders of Charlotte Kohl. Big day out for the SD Works Pro Time leader. Demi Vollering takes the stage ahead of Chloe Dygert and Los Arges. Cabal, Faulkner, Van Dijk, Wiebes, Bredevold, and Norsgaard and Henderson, your top 10. Happy days for Demi Vollering, and really emotional on the podium, given the raucous reception from the home crowd, and she now leads Lorena Vives by 3 seconds. Chloe Daiger at 5 with Adair Cool, Cabal, Faulkner, Van Dijk, Bredevold, and Norsgaard, your top 10 in the general classification. A very different stage. It's a mashup of Amstel Gold and Liège, Bastogne Liège, 8 Queen in the Mountains along the route, 1,820 metres of climbs such as the Cauberg, the Côte de la Redoute, the Côte de la Roche au Dopont. Demi Vollering, twice a winner of Liège-Bastogne Liège. She's also won the Amstel Gold. It's up to the rest of the teams to take it to Vollering. Don't miss out. It's stage 4 tomorrow.